Okay, welcome rosary makers. Today we are going to start with the new member kit. So your kit should look something like this. So let's go inside to see what the contents are. So open it up. So you're going to have a rosary kit, which has the beads, both the Hail Mary and Our Father beads, the crucifix, the center, and one of your cords. So we're not going to be using that quite yet, so we'll just put that off to the side. The other thing that you have in here, and this one we're going to actually open up, this is your sample completed finished rosary, so that you have an idea of what one of these rosaries should look like. So here's a sample rosary, and that's what we're going to be making mostly here at Rosary Makers. And if you look closely, you can see a knot here. I'm going to pick this up and bring it closer to you, to the camera, so you can see this. This is called a barrel knot, and that is the basic knot that we use through the whole rosary. There's 14 of them. They get a little bit different around the centerpiece and the crucifix. We do it a little bit differently, but the basic barrel knot is the same throughout. So once you learn the barrel knot, you can make a rosary, okay? So this is a great sample for you to look at. So again, I'm just gonna put that off to the side for right now. What else do we have in our kit? Of course, we have 2 strings, 2 cords, and we have a tool. I'll put our little baggie off to the side here, okay? So this is the cording that we will normally be using for the rosaries that we make. So this is a number 9 braided and bonded cord, and it's a special cord that is usually used mainly for making rosaries. It was designed for that, and that's the main cord we'll be using. Of course, it comes in different colors. We usually have black and white available all the time at Rosary Makers. But it comes in brown and green as well, and then sometimes you can find some other colors, but mainly we use the white and the black and probably brown, okay? So again, we're not going to be using this cord today right away, so we're going to put that off to the side as well. We're going to be using this special cord, and this is a number 95 paracord. It's not a cord that we would use to make these type of rosaries that we're going to be making at Rosary Makers, but it's a great starting cord for you to learn how to make the barrel knot. It makes it a little larger so you can kind of see how it comes together, how the different layers of the knot look, and it's just a little bit easier as a starter, okay? So we're going to be using this, and then we're also going to be needing our blue cord tool. This is called a cord tool. And if you look at it, it has 2 different ends. There's the smaller end here. This is the end that we would be using with the smaller cording. And this is the end that you'll be using when we are making our rosaries, okay? Because we need that smaller trough, and that's what you'll be using, okay? But for today, since we're using this thicker cord, we're going to flip it around, and we're going to use this side with the larger trough so that our cord can fit down the trough. It can't really fit in this side, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is take our cord, and we are going to, we're going to undo the knot of our cord. There we go. So that it's completely opened up. Okay, and all our other supplies are going to be off to the side or back in the little baggie. We're just using our cord tool and this thicker cord, okay? So the directions for this, unfortunately, I'm right-handed, so those of you who are left-handed, this might be a little more confusing for you because these are sort of right-handed instructions, but you could try playing the video in a mirror and watching it in a mirror. I've had somebody do that before, and it's a little bit helpful to get you to see the reverse, I guess, for those of you who are left-handed. So hopefully that will help you. Anyways, okay, so for the rest of us who are right-handed, and those lefties who can do right-handed too, we are going to pick up our tool and we're going to hold it in our left hand just like this so that we can see this trough, okay? We're going to take our cord and we're going to take, I don't know, about a couple inches. It's not really important because we're just practicing, okay? But it may be a couple inches, an inch and a half or whatever. We're going to lay it across the top of the trough. And if you notice, I'm laying it as a diagonal across the trough, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it kind of on the side here of the trough, closest to me. I'm going to put it on that side. I'm going to hold my thumb, my left thumb, right on top of that cord to kind of hold it in place. See how it's holding it in place? Okay. Then I'm going to take my cord and I'm going to go across the top, kind of at a diagonal. With my right hand going across the top, away from me, I'm going to circle underneath, and I'm going to cross over that to make an X. Do you see the X on top there? That's our first wrap, first of 3 wraps. Okay? And notice here, let me just back up real quick. If you notice, I don't have this back here, my thumb with the string. I don't have it right on the end of the trough. I have it about 3/8 in, okay? So let me get back to where we were, okay? So I'm about 3/8 in, holding that on the side with my thumb. I'm gonna go diagonally across with my right hand, underneath, and I'm gonna make my X, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is come underneath again towards me and to the left. So I'm gonna go towards my thumb here. The left of this first wrap, I'm gonna wrap again. We're always working towards this left thumb. I'm gonna circle around again, and again to the left of the second wrap, I'm gonna make my third wrap. So we make 3 wraps, okay? Now, I'm going to use my index finger of my left hand. I'm going to hold those so they don't unravel because I need to let go of my string temporarily with my right hand to find the end of my string. I'm going to take the end of my string and to the left or behind here, behind these wraps, I'm going to stick it down into that trough. Now you can understand why I need this all to be a little bit into the trough. If I'm back here, I have no place to stick the cord, right? So I'm going to stick the cord inside here. So right above my thumb, behind to the left of these 3 wraps, I stick the cord in and I slide it underneath like that. And I'm going to gently pull it through. And then I've got my wrap, my underneath wrap, okay? So that, you see that right here? So I have my 3 wraps, and then this underneath part is to the left of those 3 wraps. And I'm holding taut here, so that's why I could let go with my left index finger, okay? So that's what it should look like. So holding taut, I'm going to also gently grab hold here with my right index finger and my right thumb. And I'm going to let go here with my left thumb, and I'm going to kind of rotate my hand here a little bit, and I'm going to slide this off, gently slide it off. And I'm gently holding on to this so that I don't mess up my rows of my cording. And then I'm just gonna gently kind of keep pushing on this as I pull on this the string that was in my right hand, that part. And I kind of push, see how I'm kind of keeping those lines of the cording in place. So I just keep kind of tap, tap, tap. Sometimes I push on the sides to kind of push the knot together. It's all something you kind of just through practice, you're going to learn how to do this. And everybody does it a little bit differently. You know, so anybody who teaches you at Rosary Makers, they might do it slightly different than what I'm doing. You know, it's all good. We all find our own little niche to it, but we want it all to look basically the same. So the basic barrel knot. Okay, so then we keep pushing. I'm tapping, I'm pulling on my cord until it's good and tight. And there we have our first barrel knot. So now the barrel knot's kind of interesting, and it's very interesting with the holy numbers. There's holy numbers and many very holy symbolic measures to our rosaries. If you look on one side of the barrel knot, you'll see 3 rings, which will stand for the Holy Trinity. But if you flip it over, you'll see 4 on this side, which stands for the 4 Gospels or the 4 evangelists. So it's really kind of very cool. You're just so surrounded by holiness as you make your rosary. Okay, so there's our first knot. So let's try it again. So I'm just going to go a little bit off of this knot. So I'm going to lay it across here. Remember, we want to go into the trough a little bit, okay? So I'm going to hold right kind of on the knot or right to the right of that knot with my thumb on my tool. Make sure you're kind of in the middle here of the end of the trough, you know, right in the middle. So I hold on with my left thumb. I cross over and away from me with the string. I come underneath. I cross over to make the X. Remember, you have to cross over that thread, that cord, in order to make this knot. So there's my X. I come underneath. To the left of the first one, I make my second wrap. To the left of my second wrap, I make the third wrap. Okay? Oh, see, look, when you slip, that's what happens. So we start again. Let me just get back to where you guys are. Okay. So there we are. Okay, we got our 3 wraps. I'm going to hold with my left index finger to keep it taut so I can retrieve the end of my string, my end of my cord. I'm going to go behind, right above my thumb here, behind these 3 wraps. I'm going to tuck it underneath, and I'm going to pull my cording through. And then that will line up right next to the 3 wraps. So I have 1, 2, 3 wraps, and then the cord underneath. I'm going to make it taut with my hand in the right hand so I can let go. I grab hold with my right index finger and my thumb. I push off, and then I kind of pinch, and I kind of, see how I'm kind of keeping pinch, pushing on the sides, pinch, and it's slowly pulling this right cord here next to me. If you pull this side of the cord, this knot will go in the right direction, go towards the right, which is generally not what we want it to do. We want it to go to the left so that it'll be up close to the beads that will be right here when you're normally making your rosary, okay? So you're usually pulling on this side of the cord, your right hand. The cord in your right hand. So we keep making this tight, push. See how I'm pushing with my nails? So I can get a good, nice, solid, tight knot. And there's my second barrel knot. Okay? So now I'm going to show you things that can go wrong, okay? And how to prevent them. So if you noticed, when I slipped here, when I was coming around and I crossed over, and then all of a sudden I slipped with my hand and oh, it all comes off. So just no worries, you just restart, okay? So that's one fix. Another issue that might come up is when you're wrapping this around and you go to make your X, notice how I'm going to the left. If you go like this and you try to make your X and you're over on the right, see how that's not going to work? And then, oh, it's all going to just come undone. So the best way to do it is to go diagonally, come under, and then I'm going to go to the right. And I'm going to keep it kind of taut over I'm sorry, I go to the left, and I'm going to keep it taut to keep that X on top until I can come around to do my next one. Okay? So then let's do another knot, and then I'll show you what happens when you don't keep your rows of your wraps in place. You get what I call an ugly knot. Okay, so we're going to start again. I'm going to put the cord, I'm going to go just above the knot that's there. I'm going to go about halfway through here to hold it, halfway through the trough. You don't want to be too close to the end here, or everything will fall off as you're trying to wrap it. So, and you don't want to go too close to this end of the trough, or you won't have a place to stick your cord in, okay? So you want to be kind of right in the middle here, like that. Okay, so I hold my cord with my left thumb. I wrap away from me across the top, underneath towards me. I cross over to make my X. That's my first wrap, second wrap, third wrap. I'm going to hold with my left index finger. I'm going to grab the hold of my end. I'm going to stick it in right behind here. We're right behind these wraps in the little trough. Whoops-a-daisy. My little cord is bent there at the end. And then I pull it through so it all lines up. See? Okay, so now I'm going to grab hold gently here. I'm going to push with my left thumb, push it off the tool. Now watch what happens if I'm not holding on to that and I just pull. Oh, goodness. That's what we don't want. That's not a barrel knot. That's just a mess. And it generally won't stay together because it's not that barrel knot. So it can unravel in your rosary. It just doesn't look very nice either. Okay, so when you have something like that, to undo it, we just take our fingernail and we pull on this last loop to kind of ease it open a little bit. And then we grab hold of that and just pull our string back through. Just keep doing that for each of the layers here to undo the knot, which you're going to be doing this a lot because you're going to make mistakes frequently. And then it's undone. And you just start anew. So that's the beauty about these rosaries is you can't mess them up. You can always undo it until you actually do a knot around the centerpiece and you cut the strings. Those are the only ones you really can't undo. You'd have to cut the whole end off, this whole knot and loop off. But other than that, it's all very user-friendly and easy to redo, okay? So you can always undo these knots. In fact, after you do several knots on your string and you fill your string up with your practice, you can always undo all of them and start over again and keep practicing until you feel comfortable with it and you think you've got it, okay? So that is how we're going to get started, and I hope that I hope this is helpful to you guys and you can get started on making your barrel knots on your practice cord here, and I will have another video to show you how to start to do the barrel knot on the smaller, thinner cord. So happy rosary making and God bless. Okay, let's do another one. Holding the tail of my cord with my left thumb. I'm in the middle, roughly, of my trough here. With my right hand, I'm going to cross over, away from me, underneath. I cross over to make my X. There's my first loop. I go underneath, I cross over, and I'm moving to the left, remember. Left of this first loop, I make my second loop. Again, moving to the left, moving towards this left thumb, I make my third loop. I hold with my left index finger. I find the end of my cord. I place my cord to the left or behind, right above my left thumb, into the trough so it goes underneath all of my wrappings. I pull my cord out so it lines up next to there. I grab hold. I slide off. I'm going to be turning these coils, kind of twisting, pinching as I pull with my right hand. Twisting, pinching as I pull with the right hand. Pushing the ends, pulling tight until I have my barrel knot. Let's try it again. Holding the tail with my left thumb. Cord is in my right hand. I cross away from me, over the top. Underneath, I cross over again to make my X. Moving to the left towards this thumb, I make another wrap, a third wrap. Holding on with my left index finger, I grab hold of my end of my string. Again to the left, behind here, I stick my cord underneath. I keep this taut. I slide it off. I rotate and gently pull with my right hand the cord. As I rotate, pinch, 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 rotate, pinch, until I can pull tight as everything's all lined up. And there is my barrel knot. Let's try it again. Holding with my left thumb, I cross over, underneath, make my X, first loop. Now I'm doing my second loop to the left of my first loop. I'm doing my third one, again to the left. Hold on tight with my left index finger. I find the end of my cord. I place that underneath. Pull it tight. I slide them off. I rotate, pinch, rotate as I pull with the cord in my right hand. Pinch, rotate until I have my nice tight cord.